Okay, here I am cruising with my Mercedes E320 CDI. We're up here in Tahoe. I came up here with normal tires, and I'm getting 32.2 miles per hour gallon right here in Tahoe. And yeah, I was coming up here. I would just like to go for a drive. I like to go up to Tahoe. And they were like, hey, do you have four-wheel drive? I was coming up here. They had the thing for the chains. And I was like, yes. And, you know, I kind of do, because I have Sensotronic brake control with the ESP and the ASR system. You know, I don't have four-wheel drive, so like, it's like, as far as going up like a steep hill on the ice, no, I'm not that good. But actually just going down the road, yes, I do, because, you know, the way it all works, but particularly with the Sensotronic brake control, is that it's got four-wheel steering through the braking system. It brake steers, so, and it's, you know, electronic, so it's always controlling all the wheels at all times at 100 times per second. And it's a very brilliant system in a lot of respects, the way it steers the car. One of the things about it is that as you step on it, it actually starts to create sine waves of pulsation to the brakes, and it's able to adjust the pulse width of these things, and the computer's adjusting this 100 times a minute, so it has complete control over the brakes to steer the car. And so it's the really first effective anti-lock braking system, because you step on it and the car's like, as you step on the brakes, it's like, and you can like really step, you know, just like, and the computer is fast. It's faster than you are. The computer responds faster as you step on the brakes. As soon as you step off the gas quickly, it pulses the brakes to clear them, even in cold weather like this, and prepares for you. As soon as you hit it, it's preparing. And if you hit it quickly, it's immediately going to maximum power, and you know, it doesn't adjust. You don't have any pulse to your pedal. So even though it's activating, as you continue to press down, it continues to develop even more power by adjusting the pulse width. And it's steering the whole time. And then you're just driving down the road, and it's just doing this. It's measuring the, you know, whether the car is going up or down a hill. And it's got a sensor on the steering wheel and a stability sensor, a gyroscopic sensor in the trunk. And so as you're going, like I was out there on the freeway, you know, going up the hill, you know, and hitting the, you know, the snow and stuff, and the car was adjusting. It was like, you know, all, you know, like, you know, all four wheels, when that wheel hit resistance, the other ones lowered the resistance or adjusted it to, you know, to keep the car stable. And as I was in the corners, you know, I mean, like, it was like, as the car started to slide, it was just pulsing the front brakes to, you know, adjust that, you know, at high speed, you know, which is way faster than I could go, you know. And yeah, and like, you know, then like, you know, that's just, you know, we going up the hill and two-wheel drive. You know, I'd rather have front engine rear wheel drive, because it's better balanced when you're going on a highway. You have a lot more room in the car, it's more fuel efficient, and the motor's behind the front axle. So the car has really great high speed stability, and it will smack the doors off an Audi out on the open road. But when you're going downhill, the four-wheel braking system, you have it, and if you step on the brakes, it picks up power so much faster than anything else, and it steers. You know, and Elon Musk was, you know, all bragging about this with the Tesla, but like really, Mercedes put out the very first third-generation anti-lock braking system with this system, and it's still probably the most advanced anti-lock braking system to this day, and almost all the problems were solved with it in the long term. They were minor problems related to the windings in the electrical motor and some wire, you know, and they replaced that, and the system worked flawlessly after that. Yeah, you have to replace it every like 100,000 pulses on the pedal, but yes, it gives me so much confidence here. And you know, and it's, of course, that's once you get up to the genius of, it's not just that, but the whole car is the very first computer controlled Mercedes Benz of a drive-by-wire system. So it's got a mother wire in it, and so the drive computer is saying, okay, we want the car going down this road, going at this angle, we're operating the motor, I'm adjusting the transmission, I'm adjusting the brakes, you know, I'm adjusting the turbocharger and the timing and the swirl flaps. And the big one is, it's like, it's got these, you know, these computer controlled direct injection system where, you know, it's like, you know, 5 pulses per you know, cycle, you know, and it's adjusting through all that, you know. And so this is really a much better car. This really is a high point. And the other thing about this car that made it really great compared to the other Mercedes is that it was when they went to an aluminum chassis. The earlier ones, the one before, which with the OM606, they had issues with rust, but with this one it's about 99% aluminum, and it's composite, so it's like there's like a little bit of steel somewhere, but it's mostly different grades of aluminum for crash protection and the control. And you have all this visibility because it's before they put in, like, it has like 11 airbags, so it's 4,000 pounds, but with aluminum, it can have all these things. And it's a stiff chassis. This is when they first released this, and so this car is actually very resistant to rust. So that's just another real big advantage of why you're going to see these cars are really worth a lot. They're going to be on the road for a long time, and particularly with the diesel, this is the one that really, really cooks. This is the one that really gets down. And I love the diesel. It's just the right size motor, the 6-cylinder 3.2 right now, just lugging around, casually, just keeps going and going and going. Plus, it also has these automatic windshield wipers, which I really like a lot. I like that I don't have to worry about the windshield wipers. This is a huge feature. Just keep your hands, and that's how Mercedes work. It's a V8 automatic power. You're stepping on the gas, you keep your hands on the steering wheel. You only have 2 pedals to brake, the gas, your left foot braking, and you're in control of the car, and it's just like put down as much power and control the car. And just keep your hands on the steering wheel and just control the car. And it's a very nice driving experience. BMWs have a very nice sounding motor. Their inline 6 has some advantages in that it's able to breathe, and it has twin turbos, but it's nowhere near as reliable. And over a long run, you wouldn't keep it. This one you'll keep because this car just keeps on working. We're in Tahoe now, just enjoying ourselves. But yeah, the Mercedes is a better car than BMW. It's tougher. This one has a lot of room in it, and it's a tougher car. And the Mercedes usually does it, and then BMW follows up with like a more aggressive, more stylish design. But really 335D versus this, you want this car. A 335D is a faster and more beautiful car, but this is a way better car. Way better car. This is actually just as fast, and it does it in a simpler manner because it just uses a variable geometry turbo as opposed to twin turbos. But the BMW has these weird, the air intakes go through the cylinder head to get this swirl. That's where this car has swirl flaps. And so the BMW can actually breathe at high rates of speed. So it's a very high revving diesel. And that's the genius of the BMWs. It's kind of like this and the OM606 combined. But it costs twice as much, like 4 times as much to own it. It breaks down twice as often and costs twice as much to repair each time. So that's why, and this one's the one it has, that also has 6-speed automatic. This one doesn't have all these weird emissions control technology. See, there we go. Let's use it. So it's a genius system. It's like this little oil pump, and it pumps up the pressure, and then it just has the valves adjusting really quickly to each wheel is independent. And so there's nothing really faster than this. And that's why it's a shame that they didn't keep it up with it, because even to this day, I don't really think anybody who's made such a good system, because it's not just when you're hitting the brakes that it's automatically adjusting each one in steering, but all the time it's adjusting them. And I just don't know a different system that can give you this kind of speed. I remember at the time, the 3 people who had it was Audi, Porsche, and Mercedes. And I remember the Porsche ad was like, can you do this? And it had like 4 brake pedals, and it showed the car in the corner. And it's like, no, there's no way that you can brake that fast. But really, of all the systems, the Sensotronic brake control system on the Mercedes, this was really the hot one. And I think people would need to look at it, because it has like this bad name that's going to be like unreliable. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You just call up the number, and they'll tow it to the dealership for free and replace it, for free. And that's it. They'll always tow your car for free. You have to pay for the dealership to fix it, but they'll always tow your car for free anywhere in the world. It's just that with the Sensotronic brake control, they'll also fix the car for free too, because it's till 2030, so you might as well get it fixed. It works a lot better. It's really a much better car.